Yeah. How you guys all doing today? I'm EFC, this is Blue Lines TV, and today I'm going to discuss the 3 biggest stories that came out this past 24 hours. One of the big reports that we all know, some massive twists and turns in this Hakimi deal. I'm going to discuss them, you guys. As I've been alluding to, Paris Saint-Germain could not have been written off that easily. To move on, I'm going to discuss the future of Kenedy, and of course there are some reports linking us with a potential move for Sergio Ramos. So a ton of things to break down, discuss and get into. I hope you guys do enjoy. Of course, show your love, smash that like button, and of course get involved in the comments too, you guys. Without wasting any more time, now we start with the first story, and I want to discuss the latest news surrounding Kenedy and his future for next season. In Spain right now, he is getting a lot of interest from La Liga clubs. Currently, Valencia and Real Betis are in the running to try and sign him for their clubs for next season. And for me, it makes a lot of sense because last season, Kenedy did have a very strong season. For Granada, he got 7 goals and 4 assists in all competitions, and for me, there's kind of no surprise behind that because last season he played in more preferred positions, playing further forwards, playing closer to goal, playing games down the right hand side where, he's always been known and always been best at cutting in with a strong foot, which is his left foot, blasting those shots from outside the box, cutting inside, running past his man. That's the player he is. And it's kind of crazy to think that at 25 years old now, Kenedy has only just started to get his first, real experience in football over these past 2 seasons, which is crazy. We signed him as a 17-year-old, and what did we do in that typical old Chelsea fashion? We used him out of position. We played him as a left back. We played him as a left wing back. We played him in positions which did not suit him whatsoever. And it's no surprise why his career definitely stalled. I didn't actually, go to the levels that we're hoping that he reached already at this stage right now. But of course, when clubs like Real Betis and Valencia are showing interest, that's only positives for him. And he definitely demonstrated that he had the ability and skill all along. And I think one of these 2 clubs is the next progression to make. Now, reports do state that Kenedy will get a pre-season first before he does move on, and right now the club are undecided as to whether he's going to get another loan move or be sold permanently. But based on the interest that's coming out for him from Spain, you'd imagine that we could get some decent money for him, and this will give him the opportunity to fulfill his potential and keep growing. For me, I'm hoping that Kenedy can just get that first team game time down the right hand side, and I guarantee the minute that he's playing for a team down the right, cutting in with his left foot, people will see a completely different player, and of course then his future is going to be a lot brighter. So let's see what happens. Good luck to him. And now we move on to one of the biggest stories that came up this past 24 hours. We have some more news surrounding the latest twists and turns around this Hakimi deal, and massive conflicting reports coming out from Italian publications and French media as well. Now I'm going to focus on the reports coming out from France, in particular from RMC Sport and from journalist Mohamed Boufassi. It seems like maybe Paris Saint-Germain could be leading the race for Hakimi at this point in time. Now in my videos I constantly kept alluding to the fact that yes, here's our strategy, here's our plan, but at the same time we can't forget that we are up against the Paris Saint-Germain team. A Paris Saint-Germain team that recently beat Barcelona to the signing of Wijnaldum by offering them more money. They're a team that are looking to spend themselves as well, and of course with that club acting as our competition, this was never going to be like a straightforward, super easy signing. Now we focus on the latest reports coming out surrounding this deal, and it seems like Paris Saint-Germain now have come in with a new bid. Their new bid is set at 70 million euros plus bonuses on top, which are going to take this deal past the 80 million that Inter Milan originally wanted to let Hakimi leave. Where does this leave us? Well, reports are saying that it looks like we are going to react to this by matching Paris Saint-Germain's offer, and it seems that maybe this talk of having maybe Alonso or Emerson or Zappacosta as part of this part exchange might not be the way this deal gets played out in the end. But I'd be surprised if we did separate business though. I've explained this point many times, and I don't think that will change at all, to be honest. But of course, Paris Saint-Germain, they have the finances, they can pay more money up front. And the interesting thing that reports do state is that Hakimi actually would prefer to sign for Paris Saint-Germain instead of signing for us. Now, yeah, there have been reports coming out from social media suggesting that Hakimi would obviously make the move to London because reports were saying that his family would prefer London life. I'm a bit surprised by that, considering that going back to France, they're French speaking. It feels like that would be a lot easier for him to acclimatise, and that would be the best environment for his family. But I don't know, to be honest. But I'm not too sure how strong those claims are. But regardless, though, there's a possibility that Hakimi might not come, but I don't think this deal is completely over. I think that, of course, in football, we've seen time and time again, let's say players do have their main choice they want to go to, that doesn't mean they don't have their second choice or third choice. And I think if we're, most times we have been that second choice club, and, in the end, players have reaped the benefits and the rewards for signing for us. So let's see what happens. There's still time before this deal does come to an end. Of course, we know that Inter Milan must sell him and get him as part of their books before the end of this month, because that's when the current financial year does end. With the new reports coming out today, though, they do suggest that Paris Saint-Germain have also met the contractual terms for Hakimi, meaning that they've agreed personal terms like what we were rumours or reports we've done ourselves. So right now it seems like things are very tight, but Paris Saint-Germain might be leading at this point in time. Now I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions, and am I personally upset by this news? To be honest, not really. I think that the fact that we are looking to go toe-to-toe and put in an 80 million offer for a right wing back is crazy money. Yes, I understand that that's the premium you have to play for, top players and big players today. But, I've read people's opinions and comments, and I still haven't found that one that's maybe changed my opinion on how I see the right wing back position. When I saw players like Victor Moses not getting any training time at all to get used to that role and easily play there, that tells me everything I need to know about that role. When I saw Hudson-Odoi do the same thing last season, having no game time in that area, but being easily able to pick it up. For me, it's one of those positions which reflects the quality of the coach, because it does come down to the instructions that are given to these guys. And the reason why I mention this point is due to the fact that we could sign alternatives if we really need to get a right-sided player for Thomas Tuchel. I don't think we need to get a specialist in a wing-back, as most players don't really start as specialists. Not many players are exclusively training from academy days to be wing-backs. Of course, they play multiple different roles as they're developing their game and growing, but that's not one of those key niche positions. So for me to spend that type of money is it's a big responsibility. It's a massive ask. And if I'm Hakimi, I'm thinking if I sign for Chelsea, where I'm competing alongside Reece James, and maybe some people may think what you're talking about, Hakimi easily walks in the team. That isn't happening at all. Reece James is one of the best young right-side defenders in Europe. I think that should have been made abundantly clear last season, and in games like the Champions League final as well. So, Hakimi would have a safer position at Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, linking up with other French-speaking players and, playing with your Mbappés and your Neymars, it's not a bad deal. For me, that type of money that we were willing to spend, prioritise that on key positions. The key positions for me being striker, midfield, and hell, even another left wing back to give competition to Ben. I think they're more key than signing a right-sided player when we already possess those players already. And I'm not really upset by these developments whatsoever. We're looking at players right now in the Euros performing very well. Look at Dumfries from PSV. Look at the qualities he has. He's that's the type of profile, they're the attributes you look for players that can play as a wing-back. As I keep stressing too, we have the Quaban Hakimi in Livramento already, and this is a kind of a massive over expense for a position that, yes, gives us more, tactical solutions, but isn't necessarily taking this team to the next level, because if you're investing this money into Hakimi and don't get a striker, it becomes a case of diminishing returns. Who's he going to assist to? Absolutely no one. So hopefully now we can focus on the players that we need to get done. That's what I want to see, you guys. And in the comments below, how do you feel about this? Are you upset by these developments? Or are you also happy at the fact that this deal might not go through because maybe he just isn't needed? But regardless, we now end things with the final story today, and we got a pretty surprising story. It does involve Sergio Ramos, and now we are being linked with a move for him for this summer. Now, before I can even discuss the story, I need to give you guys some history behind why Ramos is now currently leaving Real Madrid and what actually happened. So, with Sergio Ramos, of course, he hasn't agreed a new contract with Real Madrid, meaning that he does become a free agent in that sense, and he is looking to leave. Now, the reason behind why he is going is that, he wants to keep his same salary, with the rumours suggesting that he earns around 312,000 per week, and he wanted a 2-year deal too, because, he wants stability for your family. Unfortunately, that's not how Real Madrid saw things. They offered him less money, with some reports suggesting that he got a 10% wage reduction in the new offer, and he was only given a 1-year deal on top of that as well. Now, funny enough, over time, because Ramos really wanted to stay at Real Madrid, a club he's been with for nearly 16 years, he was actually okay with taking the deal in the end. However, this was not the same energy that the Real Madrid board had. It seemed like there was maybe a expiration date behind these contract talks, and Ramos found out that even when he accepted their terms, the deal wasn't there on the table anymore. So he's been forced out in that sense. And as he stressed, he won't go to Barca, he won't go back to Sevilla, and that's opened up interest from us and again from Paris Saint-Germain. Now, how do I feel about this news? I think it's interesting, and I think actually if we were to go for Ramos, it says everything we need to know about maybe the futures of Zuma or Rudiger. I'm going to focus on Rudiger for this example. We know that he hasn't committed to a new contract yet. However, if there are reports suggesting that we are looking into the market to sign someone already, someone like a Ramos that we could get quite easily now, could that potentially force Rudiger to have to, show some agency and really come up with a clear answer in regards to his future, and if he's going to be here next season or not? I think they're the answers the club want, because of course they want to prepare for next season. They want to make sure that they can get the business done that they have to do, and not have to wait for players who maybe have the heart set on playing for us next season and maybe don't. So I feel like maybe this is what the Ramos news is here for essentially. It's a pressure tactic on Rudiger, because I don't know, even if Rudiger left, would Ramos be the guy to sign? I mean, who knows? We've seen the benefits of having these top experienced guys here on short-term deals. He costs a ton of money, but that's offset by the fact that you're only paying for his player cost. And of course, if you can have him for 1 season before you moved on, maybe that could be all we need until we find other solutions in the market at centre-back. So on that note, they are the latest stories coming out right now. As I said in the comments below, how do you feel about these Hakimi developments? Are you nervous behind this deal? Are you upset? Or do you not give an F? So you guys, on that note, I'm EFC. This is Blue Lines TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.